Hello?
Let's see. Did that work?
Oh,
We're back.
yeah, we got it.
Yay!
Dude.
There we go.
There we go.
That was it. Thank God. That was like it was one of those times where it was like, oh my God, is this not going to get solved? Like, I'm not going to solve this. I'm going to have to call him. I don't know what's happening. Can you see us? Can you see us?
Yeah, I can see you guys. What's up?
We're kind of far away. That's our far away cam. We got like a 6-cam system in here, so we just record. We're not really doing anything live at the moment, so this gets edited into a one nice looking thing with multicam and everything. But right now, this is how you'll see us.
Right. Do you guys use Snapstream? What do you guys use?
Whenever we use Streamlabs.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But we haven't picked it up in a while because we got into a rhythm of just recording but like we're bringing the live back because we have time for it again. So I need to build out some great streams and what are you guys using? What did you mention?
Well, we used to use I think we used StreamYard back in the olden days. I'm pretty sure that's what we use now. And it was like juggled there at the beginning. Like I know there was like in the earliest parts of this, maybe we were using Zoom, and then someone in the video team was just stitching it together back in the comic book days. But yeah, I think we use StreamYard now.
Nice. Well, I appreciate if you want to charge any kind of consulting hours on that, like I understand.
No, absolutely not.
Dude, what's up? So I'm Logan. Nice to really meet you and talk to you. It's cool to hear your voice talking back at me and not just in my headphones. For once,
absolutely.
Listen to you on Phase Zero, and watch your.
We still get caught sometimes. Don't even worry about it. It still happens to us. That's not what the name of the show is.
Right. It's a great name, though. It's a great name.
Oh yeah.
I think it rolls off the tongue. So to my left is Scotty Scoop. Scotty,
what's up, man?
Hi, Scott.
And Andy Hun, the Giggler.
Hey, nice to see you.
What's going on?
We're pleasured to have you tonight, and I know that you're like me. I gotta check me and my wife are business partners, so it's just like, is this gonna work? He said I gotta check my wife first, make sure it works.
Yep.
And you got newly married, right? Like in 22, maybe.
23.
23.
Yeah, I think it was 23 September. And we came straight off of brunch to do this, so we were like, hooray! I'm like, it'll keep me up. I won't go to sleep off these eggs.
Man, brunch.
Very nice.
It's dinner time over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you guys are in Virginia?
St. Louis. The fact that your brain did Virginia, I don't know. I guess St. Louis kind of does feel like Virginia.
Like, what is geography? What is time? It's the ribs.
Yeah, we're the St. Louis Arch. We have the St. Louis Arch here, maybe. It's been in some Marvel stuff, actually. It made it into What If. So
we used to have a football team, but that went somewhere else. I'm not sure.
Oh, right. Man. I mean, it's 2 feet from our house, hilariously.
Yep.
Like the big palace Cranky made for himself. And I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
You tapped in. Are you sports? You like sports?
Oh, that's what I did before I did this.
Okay. All right. So
That's what I did.
a little setup. This is what we call the patron pre-show. So it comes with it comes for free for our patrons. It's kind of the nonsense for the mic checks and saying hello, and we kind of do it about in one take. But like I said, the pressure's kind of off because we're not live. We can like if somebody's got to stop, be like, I gotta pee. Like you got to just stop, and we'll just take a minute. But for the most part, I think we'll be able to do it in one shot if you got it in you. But we can kind of we usually pause or after. We have a little format that we follow, and after we do the What You Watching roundtable, which takes a lot of energy for us, everybody gets excited. We always focus on one thing, call it the meat, and today I just wanted to kind of we've covered Skeleton Crew, so I'm not trying to cover the whole series. I just want to do kind of like a reaction to the finale, spoilers allowed, and just like each of us give a take, wrap it up, and that's like one of the last things we talk about.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I went on Rebels, Reckless Rebellion, like 3-4 weeks ago when the Neil episode happened, and was like, I hope that this ends well. And I was so excited when you said, "Can we talk about Star?" I'm like, sure,
Nice.
absolutely.
Nice.
That's awesome. I consider myself like a mainstream Star Wars fan. Like I've been a diehard on the movies, but I don't know all the Clone Wars stuff. I listen to Star Wars Explained, the podcast. Like those guys. Like,
Oh yeah,
they help me out. They're awesome. And then in the very beginning, when we like start, like I'll do like a little cold open. Like we'll do like a soft interview with you. We'll keep it super, super light, little background, and then we'll just keep it going.
Sure, sounds good to me. I'm gonna adjust this guy because I'm getting all kinds of awesome glare off these glasses. This is
sick. This is the time. This is the time for final touches. And if you guys need anything,
I'm straight.
You're good.
Yeah, don't mind me. There we go. Yeah, get that tilt. There we go.
And you can see this screen okay? Like we got kind of like a presenter view up.
Yeah, I just moved it over so we could get like half and half so I can make sure I can see all three of y'all. And I'm good now.
Perfect. Let me adjust this real quick. We'll record these. All right, guys, we'll just jump right in. We got a fun program, lots of fun stuff to talk about. And hey, dude, you're off, Aaron. So just enjoy the ride. Like you're off.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you
guys
just
work.
Like we're working. Like this is our sesh. We're a little background that like I won't have in the full show. Like we're 6 years old, 200 episodes. We're a hyper local podcast here in St. Louis with a ton of community engagement, local business engagement, stuff like that. But we talk to a worldwide audience. We got listeners in 50 countries. We're storytellers that started as movie and comic book fans, but now we're a variety talk show. So you'll get a real sense of who we are today. Like I'll briefly hit little bitty things, but we'll keep it moving and on track. But that's a little bit about us. And thanks for being here. Thank you for being here.
No problem, guys. I'm excited, man. I'm like a little bit in awe. This is a nicely oiled machine over here, man.
Yeah, I hope you like the studio. It's
yeah,
I do. I was looking at that as well. I'm like, this is why I be poking Brandon. I'm like, Brandon, move your ass to Los Angeles so we can have space.
Yes. Yes. You guys need it. You guys need like a full like custom setup, with stations and stuff.
You talk about my dreams. We have to get there first. He got to get out here first before we start asking people to build anything.
Yeah.
Well, you're further along than like way most, and so just know that like you're on your way.
Yeah, you guys have to hire somebody just to dust all of the statues, every single one.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yo, he got more of them this weekend. There was like 3-4 of them in boxes, and I'm like, when is enough? Kevin Feige. Is it ever enough, Brandon?
Stop.
Is it ever enough?
All right, crew. Well, here we go. I'm going to drop us right in. Welcome back to Mostly Superheroes, another one here in the basement, St. Louis, Missouri. I'm your host, Logan, back with Mostly Superheroes. The Giggler, Scotty Scoop is here, as well as zooming in from L.A., the Phase Hero podcast, Aaron Perine. This is the show. Enjoy yourselves. We're Mostly Superheroes indie podcast. You can find us everywhere you get your podcast. Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and mostlysuperheroes.com is our online home. And guys, welcome back. A real special episode. A lot happening fresh here in the new year. On Monday, January 20th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Also, the president, Trump, just got his second inauguration out of the way. They moved it indoors. It's all happening. And Captain America Brave New World's coming out. That's why we're a variety talk show. We can really cover the gambit, and it's all happening. And really excited to invite to the studio a special guest. Before we do that, let's say hello. Giggler, welcome back.
Good to be here.
How are you, sir?
It's good to be here in person. A few Zooms that we've had, but I've missed you guys.
We really made it happen over the winter storm that we've experienced here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like just like 2 feet of snow across the St. Louis area, and it has not moved in 15 days. Like it's been one snow that's just been sticking around.
Disgusting.
So, yeah, but we're back. The streets are okay. Scotty Scoop, welcome back.
Yeah, like you said, good to be back. Yeah, zooming from the basement. Just good time.
Yeah, and you came in with your Scotty Scoop's Comic Book Nook comic books.
Yeah, I brought a whole stack over there. It's probably at least 20.
So
I would say for you guys to read. It's been I don't know, 6 weeks since we've been together in the studio. So you guys have been missing out.
That's fine with me because that's how long I need to read everything you got. And, for our guests and our people maybe tuning in for the first time, Scotty has over 5,000 comic books, and he updates us every week on what's going on. He's a lifer and a real pro. And another pro that's with us from the Phase Hero podcast, previously known as the Phase Zero podcast, Phase Hero now. You can find him on YouTube. He's an excellent host, an excellent interviewer. Been a fan for a while. Aaron Perine, welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Excited to be here, fellas.
Excited to be here. We made it happen with that classic DM on Instagram action. Like just one of those times where a DM on Instagram isn't creepy at all. It's just good business. Aaron, you're in Los Angeles, man. And, thank you for taking the time. You're out there with your wife. You're married now about a little over a year, it sounded like. And I see you on Phase Hero all the time. So there's like kind of two birds, one stone here. Like it's hard for anyone right now to hear Los Angeles without not asking about the fires. And I know that you mentioned that you knew some people. So, maybe we start with that. Were you affected by the fires, and who did you know that was?
So we are a little bit south of the fires. Thank you guys for everything. All the people from outside of the area spreading awareness, spreading the hotlines, donating money, doing all this stuff. We really appreciate it. It's going to be a while. Our buddy Hunter and CJ over at Hashtag Show. They've lost everything. So I attached, we can see their GoFundMe's up there. Anything y'all can kick towards it to help my man get back on his feet, man. You guys got a lot of gear in that room. Hunter had that crazy nerd room going with the Funkos, with the comics, man. With like all these video games back to the PS2 era, all of the smoke. He's out with his parents now, I want to say in Palm Springs. So much love to them. But we were luckily unscathed by all that. Thank goodness. It looked touch and go, though. When we were doing our Creature Commandos video, they sent out an alert to the entirety of LA to go to an evacuation zone. And Brandon's looking around like, Aaron, where are we at? Let's talk about G.I. Robot and Cersei and stuff. And I was like, dog, I don't know if we're going to be able to do the show. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Wow. Yeah, James Gunn is like supposed to be live with IGN and had to cancel, like rightfully so with everything going on. So you guys were kind of in a similar boat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jamie responded to our group chat. Like, if you're looking for Aaron might be throwing stuff in the car and jetting out of there. And I'm like, I'm here. Nothing's on fire. I think it was a false alarm. Shout out to Blue Sky. The detectives figured it out. They're like, I got one in Silver Lake and I got one in Anaheim. And I'm like, those are nowhere near each other. Unless it's no man's land outside, I think we're good. I think we're all right.
Oh, my God.
Wow, and we do have links to those GoFundMe's up in our episode description today. You can see the graphics up on the screen, and I like, thanks for giving some people. A lot of people in Missouri, like, we're so far away from it. It's one of those things that, like, you feel helpless and you just want to contribute and help. So, like, I know the American Red Cross has got involved. I know local people have gotten involved. Here's a couple specific people that you could help out that Aaron's referring us to. So check those out. And then that takes me to, like, you're in LA. So, like, a broad strokes question, but what brought you to LA? Where are you from? Let's start with that.
Oh, man. So originally, actually from out here. My mom and me used to stay out here when I was little. First 13 years out here in Long Beach. And then her family is actually from Cleveland. So I moved back to CLE for high school and college at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland. Shout out to the Cavs. Goodness gracious. And that's where I met my wife at CWRU. And, 2 more go-arounds, a little bit of professional career, moving around, her going to residency to be a doctor, me trying to figure this whole media thing out. I actually moved to New York City to go work with CBS Sports for a couple years there. And then when she got in residency out here in the Central Coast in California, they were like, well, you can't cover college football and golf and NBA, NFL from like out there remotely. Hilarious. A year before we all covered everything. Hysterical. Yep. And then Jim Viscardi poached me, Wow. Shout out to Jim over there at Image Comics, He got some writing stuff from me. He was like, you think you can do this job? Like, he asked me something about Thanos. It was like one of those questions in Loki that was on the screens about Thanos and the apples, something like that. And I passed it. And then was with them for a long time, met Brandon Davis and Jenna and Jamie, and started up Phase Zero, and then everything else that happened. And here we are, going strong with the podcast and a new incarnation.
Well done. You are, a brilliant storyteller, man. Well done. That's a skill. You talk about enough stories, or you tell your own story enough. You got that down. And yeah, Phase Hero, I would say, like, we usually use the phrase, swinging, dude. It's out here swinging. Phase Hero. I think you guys are back. It was kind of like, ooh, what's gonna happen? And like, we were with you guys in spirit through the whole comic book journey, just watching from online. Like, this is just so, unfortunately, like, not surprising in the worst way, where it's just like, here we go again, where just real people just getting affected by big moves. But to see Phase Hero rise from the ashes, if you will, it's awesome. The interviews are as big as ever. You guys have your program down. You're all experts and contribute, and you're respectful with each other. So we're big fans, man. Way to go, and honored to have you. I mean, awesome.
For sure.
Thank you so much. I hope I didn't step on your toes too bad while we were going. We really appreciate everybody who was watching and listening, because it was like really rough there for a little while. You couldn't say anything. People were like, who cares about that place? Just start a podcast. I'm like, I wish I could, friends, but Aaron needs money. Jenna needs money. Jamie needs money. I don't know if y'all know, LA is expensive.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't Nashville. It is expensive down there in Nashville, for Brandon and the crew. So, now that we've got ourselves on our feet, we're looking forward to a big 2025. We got so much. And now we get to talk about DC too. So there's even more stuff to talk about.
I know. It's kind of, that's almost like the new elephant in the room for the real nerds. Like, Phase Hero, like, that kind of came from the Marvel, but DC kind of works in phases. Like, it kind of works for both, I think.
Yeah, James is steering the ship over there. There's a little bit more organization over in these parts than there used to be, which is nice.
Finally.
It's nice to have.
St. Louis royalty.
Yes.
Yeah, James Gunn.
We love
James
him.
Gunn and the Guns.
Man, that's the mayor of a bunch of places, man. I talked to people back in Cleveland. They love James Gunn, man.
Well,
they love Superman.
He's ours, okay? He belongs to us. He's from here. We had his brother Sean on the podcast a few months ago. I know you guys talked to this crew, so keep going out there. And man. Well, here on Mostly Superheroes, we'll let you take a break and we'll do our thing while you can hang out. We got a lot of nerdy stuff to talk about. Check out Phase Hero Podcast, where you get podcasts, and YouTube, and more to come on that. Big thanks to our sponsors today, Team Jakey in the Stigma, mental health advocates here in the St. Louis area, doing the great work supporting the Provident Behavioral Health in St. Louis, an American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, as well as Hands Brewing Company. Got a lot of fun stuff happening with Hands Brewing Company, an upcoming MCU Trivia event that we're doing there, as well as we got like a password situation coming up with these guys where you're going to get some free beer if you go to a Hands. So that's happening. Alamo Drafthouse Cinema helping us out with some really great movie events as we count down to Captain America Brave New World. And Voltron, Defender of the Universe from St. Louis. Aaron, you might not know that. Originally from St. Louis. And they're here in town. The Koppler Group still have rights with Voltron. They run the Voltron store. NBC Universal does own Voltron, but the IP and everything, the Voltron store has the official gear. And with promo code MOSTLY, you can get 15% off at store.voltron.com. That's promo code MOSTLY at store.voltron.com. And last but not least, our friend Randy Naughton, local legend here in town. More to say with Randy Naughton, the podcast. Thanks for helping us out. And now we'll shout out some people and give something away.
Fan mail.
Always a lot of great contests up at mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. Right now, you can choose your own album, your own vinyl record. We'll send it to you for free. Doesn't matter where you live. You can tell us the artist, what you want. You can have it. We're also giving away Voltron, the original score on CD. We'll mail it to you. We also have a Hands beer pack available up for grabs and 2 tickets to a show of your choosing at City Winery St. Louis here in town. You can pick any show you want to this year in 2025. 2 tickets. Go have a good night at City Winery, St. Louis. Next up.
News and rumors.
All right, so we covered the story via Associated Press covering the story and us pulling the article and reading it, that TikTok was going down. It went down. It's back. It's over.
It's over.
Is that it? Anybody have any? Aaron, do you have anything to add? Were you paying attention to this as a creator?
I saw, and I was like, it's gonna be up again tomorrow. It looks like, and sure enough, it wasn't even like a whole day. It was literally like what, like 17 or 16 hours, and then it was back up.
Yeah.
And haven't seen that much online frustration since they took Circles down.
Circles. That's a good reference.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a
I know. I
throwback.
was planning for this. I was like, I guess I was just one of the schmucks out in the world that was like, TikTok's going away. It's over. And then it wasn't. Scott, hot take?
The only thing I really cared about is somehow this took away my Marvel Snap.
It's ridiculous.
You heard this?
I play Marvel Snap every day, and I logged in and it's like, oh, sorry, we can't help you.
Yep.
Maybe in a couple days we'll get something worked out, and it's still not up.
They must be in the same office, but like different wings or something.
I guess so.
I mean, did
something to do with ByteDance somewhere along the line.
Right, exactly. So you're looking for that. Otherwise, that's the whole story. Okay, and then in comic book news, Diamond Comics Distributions filing for bankruptcy, filing Chapter 11. A little help here from Good E-Reader. We got an article that helped us out. Diamond Comic Distributors filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on January 14th due to financial difficulties and loss of major publisher relationships. This will have an impact on retailers. Significant closures of comic book stores relying solely on Diamond are expected, though larger stores with multiple distributors may be less affected. And in the future plans, Diamond plans to sell key assets and a secured financing to support operations during the bankruptcy process. This is crazy. I'll start with you, Aaron. Have you heard of this? Are you aware? Do you read comics?
Yeah, I do read occasionally, not as much as Jenna, but I do what I can. And I also like heard this story, but had not heard the specifics. This is wild, like complete upheaval of how the distribution chain for most books, most mainstream books would be. I know that there was some consternation coming out of the pandemic with Diamond possibly losing their contracts with some of the big two, but like this would seem to be the nail in the coffin. Somewhere Jim's like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, this is this is not good.
Not good.
DC jumped ship, I think, in 2020 to Lunar Distributing, and then shortly thereafter, Marvel jumped ship to Penguin Random House. And after that, I do believe IDW and Image also went to either Lunar or Penguin. And that really hit Diamond really hard because that's like the four, the like big four.
Right. Yeah. Even me, like I'm a newbie through Scotty the last few years. All those names are the ones that always come up repeatedly.
Dark Horse left as well, right. I think.
Oh, wow.
And they, I was just reading up today, and they actually got a filing of $41 million to continue operations right now. Through a court hearing. So I know they closed down a big warehouse. They had two big warehouses. One of them closed down in New York. Through the last six or 7 weeks, they've had a lot of shipping issues. I know even at my local store, like half of the comic books they're supposed to get showed up. And, it's because Diamond is not doing well. They had a monopoly since 1982.
Oh my gosh.
Until they actually got investigated for being a monopoly in the 90s in the big comic book crash, and nothing really ever came of that, and nobody really did anything until about 2020. And then all those people jumping ship has really done a number to Diamond, which it sucks because a lot of those small publishers only get distributed through Diamond.
Right. Yeah, and that's the big impact.
Them,
is like this is their only distributor.
Yeah, you're gonna get the small creators.
Yeah.
The
independents. They're not gonna have a distributor, and without them, they might just collapse.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead, Aaron.
I was gonna, Scotty. Who does Boom?
Boom was purchased. They are currently distributed by Diamond until the middle of this year. They were purchased by Penguin Random House.
Okay. Man.
Where do you think it's going to land, Scott?
Somebody's going to come in and
swoop
buy
it up.
this.
It's too big of a beast. Like it's like it's a machine.
And that's exactly what Diamond did over the years. They bought all the small distributors, and I think they already sold off their UK division just last week, and they're looking at selling their toy division.
Oh man.
Wow. You know, they might be able to scramble and make something happen, because Chapter 11 is not like it's over.
Right, yeah, and I'm kind of like, I'm not really a financial expert. I'm kind of like Michael Scott, like in The Office, when he's like, I file bankruptcy. I claim bankruptcy.
I mean, that's almost what Chapter 11 is. You know, they're just yelling bankruptcy. Someone please invest and save us.
It's just a trigger for the rest to happen.
Yeah,
and it's a way to get out and maybe liquefy like your assets.
Yeah,
or
they can
cash out,
restructure,
bring in like support from the government or financial institutions to like get things right.
I think it was J.P. Morgan Chase that gave them like $41 million to keep their operations going.
You think like Disney would be like, we want it, like maybe, but
it's
distribution though.
There's some talk about Penguin Random House or Lunar coming in and maybe saving the day, or maybe they break it up, so that and evenly distribute some stuff. But who knows? I just hope we don't lose the stuff that we already have.
That's your concern.
Yeah,
is that
for sure,
and that it takes forever to fix.
Yeah,
and that,
I mean, you could see it right there, that big previews catalog on the shelf.
Is that like
that's Diamond stuff right there?
And that might not even happen now.
I mean, it's 3 months ahead. Who knows what's going to be happening in 3 months with these guys?
Final thoughts on this topic. Move it along. More to come. All right, MCU news, getting into some Marvel stuff coming out of Cinema Express, helping us out. Disney's Marvel series Vision Quest, it adds Perine to reprise his Iron Man role. This was like the bad arms guy in the first Iron Man movie, where Obadiah used like the paralyzing machine on him, and it like made his face get like paralyzed.
Yeah.
So like he apparently wasn't killed at that place in the Middle East, and he's going to be back in this Vision show. Scotty, this was your topic. What do you have to say about this?
This is kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's very random,
all the way back, like as far back as you can go.
Yeah, let's go back to let's get somebody from the first one that was off to the side. Aaron, have you guys talked about this yet on Phase Hero?
Oh, absolutely. And the Vision Quest series is like a best of like Phase 1 and Phase 2 at this point. It's like James Spader, my man here, which I was like, he was in Kite Runner on Broadway, like the last thing he did, which I was like, what is going on? More importantly, what the heck is this show?
Yeah,
like, what is
I really need to know what this show is.
The actors are coming back.
Right.
Like, Jamie asked, she's like, you think Jeff Bridges? I'm like, man, that's a big stage D23 Comic-Con thing if you bring back old Jeff. He'd probably be down to do it too. Probably be down to do it.
I mean, they brought back his character in that What If Season 3 episode with Bucky and the Red Guardian, where it's like, oh man, that was of course he had the Starks killed. Like, all right.
Bring it on.
I think people should pay attention to the people who come in to record What If. I'm not saying anything, but I think you should pay attention to who comes in to record lines and stuff for What If. Because
we hear
we're
you.
Like,
we're on the edge of our seat right now, but we also they made their bets on What If. Like they made a lot of bets on like, we're gonna go this way, we're gonna go this way,
and they put it all in there for a reason. I think they're getting us ready
Secret Wars
for
also
things to happen.
You know,
just like the first
like
few
they all gonna lie about it too.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen the interview we had with Jamie, where Jamie asked Catherine Hahn to her face, we heard you're in What If Season 3, we heard you're doing Agatha episode, and she was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
that's because
what?
That's because in the scary Marvel room, they're like, lie.
Yeah.
Lie. We don't care anymore. Just lie.
Well, Tom Holland won't mess it up.
All right. Well, I don't think this is a character. I didn't need this character to come back, but I love Iron Man, so I'm here for it.
Yeah.
There's a good story there.
I'm excited for Vision Quest. I'm hoping it seems like it was something that should have happened a long time ago.
But that's everything now. They like the delays. It seems like everybody's doubling down on who cares about delays? Like we'll release this show 10 years later and you'll watch it. Like Avatar will be 20 years apart. You won't care. You'll watch it. Like they don't care about how long things take. Like we'll get Agatha season 2 if they write it down, they'll do it.
As long as it's good.
I interviewed Dominic Thorne about Ironheart 3.5 years ago. I want to say.
Wow.
It's been forever.
Oh my gosh. And that's on the calendar, right? That's on the calendar.
Yeah, it's I think like August or September or like that.
Or the summer, end of the summer.
Yeah.
We're almost there, girl. Dear God.
It's gonna get close, man.
Yeah, she had a full epic saga in What If. Full epic. Oh, that was awesome.
Crazy. And I'm just like, it's a shame. We should have already seen this character in live action by now. But I'm not gonna steal Brandon's bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Wakanda Forever just like 3 days ago, and it was just like, man, this was, this is it. Let's go. Like you fall in love, and it's like, give me more.
If we get blessed enough to be on press for Sinners, I'm like, Brandon, ask Ryan what's going on, man. You got Denzel talking about scripts for movies that have not been announced yet. Like we haven't seen anything. But if we don't do it, then we'll do it during Eyes Wakanda for sure.
Yes, excited
I can't wait for that one.
That's good too. All right, and then speaking of news, we're going to be on the news this Thursday. Local Fox 2, 9 a.m. We'll be showing off and talking about MCU Trivia Bingo, a great event we have planned at Hands Brewing Company that Thursday night, this January 23rd. If you're listening to this, it's right around the corner. We got prizes from everybody. We can't wait. Hands, Alamo Drafthouse, the Gramophone, Planet Score Records, the Royale, Voltron. So many prizes, and not bad prizes, amazing prizes. And we want a lot of people to walk out with stuff. I feel like that's my most frustrating thing when I go to these things is like there's 3 prizes, nobody gets anything. You're probably going to walk out with something, and if you're really upset, just come talk to me and I'll give you something. Like we have something. MCU Trivia Bingo Thursday, January 23rd, 6 to 9. We'll see you at Hands Tasting Room downtown, free to play, walk-ins welcome as we count down to Captain America Brave New World in theaters February 21st is when we're seeing it. It's in theaters February 14th. We'll be seeing it early. You should go see it early, but then come see it with us Friday, February 21st, 6 p.m. for our screen and social at the Alamo Drafthouse. For the price of your movie ticket, you're going to, once again, have amazing prizes, probably take something home, a little informal drawing at the end of the movie where you just might get a little something cool from Mostly Superheroes. All you got to do is show up that night. That's all you got to do. Go see a movie February 21st. Captain America Brave New World. Let's go ahead and pause here. How's your anticipation for this film? You guys did on Phase Hero your anticipation scales and ratings for things. Where did you fall for this movie?
I mean, I'm big Sam Wilson. I'm big Sam Wilson guy. I love Falcon Winter Soldier, even though it didn't reflect it in the rankings we did forever ago now, which I can't even remember. Like, is it 23? This is how long it's been to push these movies back. I remember being on Phase Zero, the original, when they announced the Captain America 4, and being excited because the news dropped during an episode. So long, I think that was 22.
Yeah.
When they said that Marcus and them was writing it. So I've been ready. I'm excited. I want to see how this thing does. They're projecting like $100 million opening, which would be like the second biggest opening for a Captain America movie. I think you have all the momentum. I don't really see. What is it opening against? I have no idea.
I don't think anything. I don't think there's anything going up against this.
Oh, with it.
It's going to be the only game in town.
Runway is clear. And I mean, awkward first date, go watch Red Hulk tear the club up. Go do it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I want to fly to you guys and go watch it with you guys. A room full of people really amped up.
Bring it on.
Let's do it. Come on out, and we're going to be probably seeing just about every Marvel movie in this kind of fashion this year in 2025. We got relationships with local theaters where they're letting us hang out before and after the film. We're a small indie shop, so they're helping us out. Not charging us. Let's just put it that way. Like they're really helping us out. It's really cool. So we got a good rapport with them. And dude, if you ever want to fly to St. Louis, you come on over.
Yeah, make sure you get the right place.
I'm here. Where y'all at?
STL.
STL.
Yeah, right. I'm in Little Rock. Did you guys say Little Rock? Yeah, I'm with you. The countdown's been on. I'm the fan that gets mad at any spoilers. Like I get mad at trailers. I think like the Flash got ruined by the marketing, and so like when I see Red Hulk, I'm like, don't show me that. Like I want that to be a reveal, but I like it for other people to make the audience bigger. I understand that we got to push other folks over the edge that aren't living it as hard as we all do. So I'm pumped for this, man. Falcon Winter Soldier was a few days ago, in our MCU rewatch, and just a great setup that we've been waiting a long time for.
Absolutely. And also, I would like to say you've got Freds and one Jamie Jirac about putting stuff in these trailers, because nothing's ever going to be like Multiverse of Madness again, where it was just like, dog, why'd y'all do that? Even Deadpool Wolverine, that last one, I think she called it like to the day. Her and Brandon was like, on the 16th watch when they have like, X-23 in the trailer. Yep. And then lo and behold, I was like, dog, not the day, not the day. I'm like, go buy a lottery ticket right now. We need the money.
It's because they get scared. They get so scared that it's not gonna deliver and everything's on the line. And they're like, we gotta pull this out.
We gotta hook them with something.
And I'm too mentally weak to not watch these things. Like the trailer,
we got a full blown addict. He's
every
an
single
addict.
one. Like there's a trailer or a leak, I can't stay away. It's the first thing that my algorithm feeds me for a reason.
How do you guys deal with like not being able to stay spoiler free?
Okay. So I go.
Great question.
Myself, right? Brandon is a different animal, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the time, sometimes he knows things. And there's only been a couple of times where I've like known things in ink that this is going to happen in this movie, and you have to just sit there and not say anything. Like I said to my wife about probably 2 weeks ago, I was like, I knew about Wesley Snipes in Blade. I had a pretty good idea of it in Deadpool Wolverine, like maybe 3-4 weeks before the movie came out. And like just kind of had to sit there, and I was like, man, people ain't ready. People ain't gonna sit. Like they're gonna think if you say something, they're gonna think you crazy, because they hate each other or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like, really? Are you sure? Joe Deckelmeyer over Screen Rant, he'll tell you the night we went to see the press screening, which was not the full press screening for the Marvels, I'm like, yo, I think Beast is in the movie, dog. And he's like, what are you talking, Aaron? No, that's not true. He's like, where the hell are you even getting that from? It's so specific. Like, now I'm scared. Are you serious? I'm like, I really do, like, for real. Because they
way to go on that
information beforehand, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I think so. Because he's like, what do you think the post credits is? And I'm like, it's this. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, I think so, dog. And I'm like, I'm 85% positive. He's like, I don't know. And then from then on, of course, every time he goes into something, he's like, Aaron, what you got? What you got? You know something? And I'm like, Joe, leave me alone. They got our houses bugged now. Feige knows who we are.
Oh, yeah.
Having that.
You get good at it. You know what I mean? You get those instincts, and then you get like good at guessing, and then it's like, man, when you start like, getting the comic info and you like talk to a lot of people that know this stuff, like you're like, they gotta like be like, they gotta be careful about how they, like, oh, they're gonna do this storyline, and Scotty will be like, this is gonna happen. I'm like, I don't even want to know. Never mind, don't tell me.
Scott, how did you deal with No Way Home? That was the craziest thing in the world to me.
Oh,
we were sitting here
yeah.
like, what do we say? Like, what do we do?
Yep.
How do you deal with it?
That one was crazy.
It's like sitting there, like, I can explain one more day to them, but like, what if that's not how it goes? And
right.
Like,
what are they? Are they going to take it right from the page to the screen, or are they going to change stuff like like they should? If they want to surprise people.
Yeah. Like there's something I think in Brave New World that's gonna like take a lot of people off guard that's in there that I'm not gonna say what it is, but I think it'll surprise some people.
I appreciate you.
Nice.
I've written people off for spoiling. Like it's over. Like I don't care if you're my mom.
He's like, I'm cutting them out of my life.
Like, don't talk to me. Like delete my number. I don't like. I've a cute. Like I've got like I used to work in an office which what was I thinking? Like people would like talk about spoilers about movies like it's like water cooler talk, and I'd be like, you guys are literally ruining my day. Like this is ruining it. Like you can't be doing this.
I can't remember what we saw that maybe it was Love and Thunder, and there was a trailer before. And you were genuinely upset that you saw the trailer because you didn't want to see any trailers at all.
Yeah, that's how it's gone. So like we've been doing this 6 years. Like every 6 months, I kind of get on this like this thing where I'm like, I'm never watching a trailer again, and I won't, and I won't. Like I really won't. Like there's movies like where I just didn't see the trailer. Like I feel like The Flash was one of those movies where it didn't matter even that I didn't see the trailer because I mean you've seen it. right? Like
TV.
the Batman was on the post. Like you go into the movie theater and he's like, "What's up? I'm Michael Keaton Batman." Like on a poster, and I'm like, "Why would you put this in the thing?"
They had to sell a movie.
Yeah, I get frustrated. Like I know they do, but like Andy said, like he's an addict. He's got to watch these things. I'm like, maybe we don't. And then the trailers lie to us half the time. We've talked a lot about that. So it's almost, but you can't help it. It's footage. It's footage of a Captain America fighting a Red Hulk. You're gonna watch it.
I mean, I still remember the Infinity War trailer with the Hulk in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the running.
They just straight up lie.
In Wakanda.
Yeah.
Like where's there a forest?
Yeah.
Where's the forest of Wakanda?
Yep.
Where was all this happening?
Y'all just lie. You lied to us.
Just a straight up lie.
Yeah.
I hope that James Gunn does a little bit of changes to that in their, like, I feel like the Superman trailer didn't have a lot in it, and I'm hoping that that's how they keep it for their movies, is just keep it under wraps and you'll be surprised.
Yeah. I
appreciate that so much.
I miss those types of trailers. Just show me like the bat symbol or something, just let the movie stand on its own feet. But, like that's a new generation. Like you got to convince people, but like Superman's Superman. Like, is that something you have to, he did a good job with that trailer, but there was still a lot in there too, though. There was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you need to talk to my wife. You need to talk to Aria, who I don't know. She glides through life. It's like a superpower. She doesn't like somehow misses stuff. Like we saw No Way Home in the theater in the Central Coast, and she legit did not know Andrew Garfield was in the movie.
Oh my God.
See, Tobey Maguire, Charlie Cox walked in. She's like, "Oh my God!" And I just like sitting there smirking. And she's like, "You knew about?"
See, like I didn't know that. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Like I was like, "Oh my God."
Yep.
Yeah.
Adam Barnhart, back previously a comic book, now over with doing his own thing with independent comics, like new in ink. Like we knew.
We had Adam on a couple years back.
8 months. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. I love Adam. We used to work night shift together. That's my dog. He had ink. I seen the text messages from Charlie Cox 8 months before the movie came out. Nice. And then we just sat on it because it's like, well, like people are really going to be excited about that. Like there's no reason to ruin that for folks. Like you just got to sit there and think it's going to be awesome.
I'm even thinking like, is this where this all goes? Like, am I about to quit this podcast today? Like, I don't like if Charlie Cox texted me the details, I'd be like, delete my number, Charlie Cox. Like, I don't want this.
You gonna talk Daredevil?
Yeah, Charlie, we're out.
Like, you're gonna ruin this movie for me? I thought you were cool. Like,
well, I think he just wanted to be truthful because we were like laughing about him being in the gym, and it's like, well, what are you in the gym for? Like, what could you possibly doing all this lifting and this choreo for, man? Like, what's going on?
Exactly what we hoped.
I mean, he's an attractive man. He could just want to be getting on his resolutions, but still, I was like, sir, what's going on there? Anytime you see, that's the sort of like Jim, God bless him. I was looking at people's Instagrams every day, and it's like, you in one of these roles and you're lifting a little heavier in the gym. You got the stunt double in there working in the gym with you. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
There's nothing on the calendar that should need your character. What's happening here?
And then when you're Charlie Cox, you're like, God, these people really know about my work life.
It's like, well, that's my guy, which is hilarious. Like Bernthal being in the gym a couple months ago. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And he was in the gym with the guy who was the stunt double for him in the Netflix show. And I think both of the previous Punisher actors, they were all in there together. And I was like, oh yeah, he's doing this thing. Like he's gonna be in whatever this is.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to be in there with freaking like the OGs taking like rise and grind flicks for us. If you're not going to put that vest back on, sir, go ahead. I love that guy.
And we know now. That's a good segue, honestly, as we head into the next one. The next thing is Daredevil, Born Again, in March. So, like you'll have this Captain America movie, and then just a couple weeks later, this premiere of this TV show is coming out. So I know we've been rewatching, getting ready for it. And you guys are too. And we'll talk about more MCU, and Phase Hero will definitely be covering that as well. Next up, we'll do our round table.
What you watching?
All right, let's go around the round table and get caught up on a few things. Let's start with you, Scotty Scoop. Tell us what's happening this week in your life in comic books from your comic book nook, as we call it. What you got?
Yeah, there's a couple of titles I read this week. Some of these are from a few weeks back. The newest one would be Rogue Savage Land. This is a throwback to a story that happened a long time ago, where I think they talked a little bit about it in X-Men 97. Rogue kind of went to the Savage Land and had a relationship with Magneto, which is a little weird. It's a little bit of an age gap there.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it, but they went there, they did it. You got to get over it. She must have been a little older or something. I don't know. It happened. It happened again too.
But the beautiful artwork in this book.
Yeah, it
was fantastic. Rogue Savage Land. Definitely check it out. You got Kazar, you got Zabu in there. She's stuck on her own in the Savage Land, no powers, fending for herself, fighting dinosaurs, all kinds of creatures. Good book so far.
Nice, very nice. And I've always been kind of like in and out in the Savage Land. I'm always kind of like, okay, like, all right, dinosaurs, saber-tooth tigers, like, do they surprise you at all in the book?
No, not really.
Okay. What else you got?
Sabretooth, the dead don't talk. So in the main 616, Sabretooth is dead. He has been killed by Wolverine with the Muramasa blade. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
I just assume it can really kill you.
It can really kill you. It negates healing factors.
Right, okay.
It's,
it's a Deadpool killer, a Wolverine killer.
So Sabretooth is dead. Wolverine is just kind of hanging out at this bar, kind of drinking away his sorrows. He seems kind of sad, but not really sad.
Like a regular Wolverine kind of sad.
Yeah, they've been going at it for a long time. So, he's lost one of his big nemesi.
And it was his brother.
Nemesis.
It's his brother, right?
Yeah, no.
Not really in this?
Not really.
I thought that's always like, that's your brother.
No, I think that's just a...
that's an X-Men cartoon thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a Fox thing, I think.
I mean, they really did it in the X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah. Okay. So he notices on the wall of this bar that he's at an old photo of Sabretooth. And he's like, what is that? And he's sitting next to this guy who knows like a lot of history about the bar. And he's like, oh, that's this guy who used to be at this, at this bar long time ago. And then flashes back to like the 1880s.
Okay.
And then we're getting into this Sabretooth story of, him just being a thug on the streets.
Wow, that's like a period piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Man,
it's good.
It's good. You like it? That's the main thing.
Yeah. I mean, you got the violence, and all of these books are down here in the stash I brought for you guys to read.
And last but not least?
The last but not least, I think, is probably my favorite book of the three, and that's The Question, All Along the Watchtower. You guys know who The Question is?
No.
This is
Aaron does.
This is Renee Montoya. She is used to be in the Gotham PD. She's a superhero, The Question. And just like conspiracy theorist kind of stuff. So the Watchtower has a problem, and there are a lot of heroes starting to congregate on the Watchtower. It's floating up in space, watching everybody. So many people, in fact, that they kind of need some law enforcement on the Watchtower, a sheriff almost. And they bring in Renee Montoya. And they're like, hey, could you like watch everyone and be like our head of security here? And she takes the job. And there's some shenanigans going on in the Watchtower. You get a lot of people in this book. People are coming in, coming out. You get Martian Manhunters, your Supermans, your Batmans.
Nice.
Everybody just kind of ducking in and ducking out.
Wow.
And there's a murder. So this has turned into a murder mystery book.
I kind of already knew that based on the hat.
Yeah, for sure. There's been another murder.
All right, Aaron, you're familiar with The Question.
Oh, yeah. Like the Charlton characters, and Renee especially as like the version of it. Like if you watch Justice League Unlimited, you know about The Question. being up there in the 5 layers of conspiracy going on in JLU.
Yeah. Some of my favorite episodes of Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, the actor who plays the Question and Clancy have some of the best back and forth in that entire show.
Oh, yeah.
Argue forever. It's
oh,
so
man,
good.
it's so good.
It's so good. So yeah, I was looking at this like the pics, like dog, like he got some fire on the screen.
Yeah.
Because Savage Land stuff's never been hotter. You got all the Deadpool people tapping back into Sabretooth, especially this feels like almost like Marvel Max. And then like Question, whenever there's a Question comic, I'm always like, what you got going on over there? What's going on over there and there?
Yeah, Question's one of my favorites. I actually a couple years ago picked up the first appearance in Charlton Comics. Blue Beetle. It was a Blue Beetle of 1960s. It's good.
Well, we this is our only comic book slide, and before we can all share our comics that we're reading. Aaron, we're approaching 6:30. I told you we'd be done by 6:30. Do you need to be done at 6:30?
No.
What could we make it like 6?
She's great. She has like a break for me. She's watching something that I probably would be like, what's going on here? So yeah, let's make it roll.
We maybe like at 20 more minutes or so, 20 or 25 or so, just so you know, it's not ever running, but I can see our schedule. It means we're having fun too, and it's going well.
I could do this all day.
There you go. All right, so comic books, that's Scotty's comic book nook, and then other stuff that we're kind of reading right now, the Ultimate Comics, Ultimate Marvel storyline. That's Ultimate Wolverine's out.
Yeah,
the Nick
they
Fury
just dropped
1 year.
Ultimate Wolverine.
And then the
issue 1, hot issue. Everybody's
right now.
talking about that one.
Aaron, what are you reading?
Oh gosh, funny enough, can I do manga?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned Dan on our top 2024 wrap up, and I had to see. I'm like, what does this look like when it's not animated like this? And it's just as nutty on the page as it is.
It is
like
so good. So good. Dan to Dan. Netflix, please, people watch Dan to Dan.
Silly. It's so crazy.
It is so.
You two are giddy. This looks good.
Yeah. What the
so wacky.
Love it.
I can tell.
My jaw was on the floor after the first episode. Okay, I was like, I gotta keep watching.
So it's a show on Netflix, and then there's a comic.
It's a manga.
It's a manga. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
I understand. Aaron, you read you guys read the manga, both of you, and then saw this show. Is that?
I did not read the manga. I saw the show. I heard some people talk about it, and I was like, I'm definitely checking this out.
Okay.
Yeah, because people say it's different too. Like that the guy who is the mangaka wanted the anime to be a little different than the manga. He's like, it should be its own thing, which I'm like, wow, shout out to you. Most creators are like, no, just make my stuff again.
Yeah.
Like do it again.
Adapt it. 100%. Same.
And Andy, you got anything?
Comics?
You're catching up
not
now.
Right now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to taking home some of those in that pile right there. I got a lot of Ultimates to catch up on. A lot of Black Panther.
Ultimate Black Panther.
The 1 year in, I'm excited for.
The 1 year Nick Fury look in, that looks really cool. Blood Hunt, you should take that home. That was great.
Yeah, I just picked up a few stuff from Apotheosis the other day. Just the stuff from the last couple months that I needed to catch up on. So.
Wolverine Revenge. I read those 3.
Those are good.
Those are good.
Yeah.
So good.
The Red Band stuff.
Red Band
is hot.
Oh man, really epic.
They like the extra blood and gore.
I like it though. I guess. I don't know if I'm like a psycho. It doesn't faze me. I'm like this. It seems like that's how it should be. Like
we're all
it's Wolverine. It's of course. All right, cool.
You guys do.
Go ahead.
Do you guys do Absolute?
Yes, I've got all the Absolute stuff is actually here. They've only read I think the first issue of everything.
Yep.
And I just dropped off issues 2 and 3 of Superman and Wonder Woman, and issue 3 and 4 of Batman, and I think it's all pretty great. I think I like the Wonder Woman stuff the most so far.
Yes. What about you, Aaron?
Me and Jenna we love Absolute Batman so much and his goofy acts. We're real big fans, big proponents. I was raised a little bit on the Ultimate Marvel stuff and the similarities between the first Ultimate run with Bendis and them, and the Absolute stuff is very, very pronounced. But me and Jenna cannot wait for Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We've been sharing fan art people have already made back and forth. This is gonna mess my brain up. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think Flash. They're doing
Flash too. Yeah.
When does this come out? Is this year?
Yeah, this year I do believe.
Ooh, man, you got me excited. Like I read the first 2 issues of Absolute Batman, and I feel the same way. Like I love the Batman, love the Alfred, love everything that's happening. And then I read the first of Absolute Superman, and I've been like, okay, I think I'm along for this. I started to put together a feeling of the Ultimate stuff, which I have jumped into. Like I'm a new comic book reader, and the Ultimate stuff has been like, and now I like want to go back and read like the original Ultimate stuff and just go through it and I know it's a list, but even maybe just parts of it or big issues or something.
The Bendis run on Ultimate Spider-Man was really good for a lot of issues, man.
Yeah. So but the new stuff, being able to jump right in with this like series that happened and started in 2024, and we're at like a little over the 1 year mark. So yeah. There's something happening there. And I see the Ultimate where it's like this is like potential for the next Infinity Saga. Like this could be like some kind of story like this could be mixed in. So fun.
Yeah, that's the new spin on Ultimate Spider-Man is really good.
All right, that's this week in comic books. Jumping around, I just watched on Mubi, the movie with Demi Moore, The Substance. I got it through Amazon Prime Video. I did the 7-day free trial, and then I told Siri to remind me in 6 days to cancel the thing, like we all know.
That's how we do it.
So until I need Mubi again. But it's Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, The Substance. I read this online and in a review. I wish I could remember the name, but the word that came out was satire. This is a satire, but it's also a sci-fi thriller, all right? And it's science fiction to its bones, okay? And it's really fun. It's about, vanity, getting older, particularly as a woman, and the image of ourselves and the expectations. And it kind of takes place in a somewhat like dark mirror future where it's like, you don't know exactly how far in the future is, but it's futuristic and it's kind of dystopian. Feels a little bit like even like certain parts of the show and stuff feel like the Hunger Games to me, like they borrowed maybe some of that. But Demi Moore is fantastic. Margaret Qualley. Has anybody else seen The Substance on Mubi?
I
haven't. She just picked up an award for this, right?
Yeah, I've heard really good things lately. Yeah, it's been
Everyone's been talking about it. Was it a Golden Globe?
And they did like a bit. They did a bit too, like the two they had both actors there. Aaron, have you seen this?
Oh, see, I haven't seen it yet, but Jamie dragged Brandon to see this from our show, and Brandon was like, "That was a movie. I was scared. I don't know what I just watched." I was like, "Yeah."
He said
keep dragging him to stuff that's gonna make him uncomfortable. Hooray!
He said it best though. It's a movie. Like we, like we're out here pissing people off with our 4.0 scale. It's like a college GPA. Like we made up a new scale. We didn't need a new scale. 5 stars work. 10.0 works, but we do a 4.0, and like that's how it is. This one's a 3.8 out of 4.0.
Wow,
it's a very
high
movie. And I probably only ding it because, like, if I was a woman, I bet I'd be a 4.0. Like, I just felt like there was a lot of themes in here that maybe I don't completely understand, but like I'm empathizing with, like, any person that struggles with image and outward looking in. And, like, what price would you pay to have the ultimate version of yourself? And they play it out, and it's like it's way beyond like what you think in your eye, like your hair will be blown back, as Scott usually says. It'll blow your hair back.
Yeah.
I have a question though. I think when I pulled it up, it was tagged as like a horror movie. Is that a fair, like, when the way you described it, you didn't really make it seem that way, but
because me, like, I'm not gonna spoil a thing.
I get
just gotta watch it.
That makes sense. Now, I know what you're saying now. So
like I've said enough, and if you don't watch it, that's your fault. Okay. Otherwise, I'm gonna ruin it. These guys end up ruining movies sometimes, where I'm like, that's plot. That's plot. Don't tell me plot. No, I agree. The category for this movie is like a sliding scale.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, next up we got The Queen of My Dreams, I believe a 2023 film. I have not seen it. Scotty, Andy, you guys have not seen it?
No, not yet.
This is yours, Aaron, and this is your platform to talk about it.
Oh, okay. So we got Fawzia Mirza's like love letter to Bollywood and family. A young woman is like in school to like be an actor, and her mother is like kind of estranged from her, and she's like forced to kind of go back home to Pakistan and kind of aid her mother after something happens with her family and understand who her mom is. And it's told over 3 time periods. It's like her present in the late 90s, it's 99. I saw a transparent phone. That means we're in 1999. And then 1960s Pakistan, in full Technicolor. Like the color design and the color grading on this movie is outstanding. It's like, you know, like sort of looks like La La Land or like Barbie, where you got that deep saturation and like that feel of like old 60s cinema, where it feels like even though they're having normal conversations and everything, the like costume design and everything makes you feel like they could just burst into song at any point. Delightful. And then also, weirdly enough, another time period, like late 80s during our main character's like adolescence, which also captures that very like goofy 80s, like, and it's shot completely differently, but still very, very of that time. You know what I mean? So you got 3 time periods. You've got like our lead actress just acting her behind off, like Amit Kaur, like just going for it. And so she plays herself and she plays the younger version of her mom as well.
Wow.
Like in the past.
Wow.
And it feels
Double
different.
duty.
Like you feel weird little parts where it peeks through. It's like, yes, that's your mom. Like, yes, that's your daughter. It's very, very weird. It's funny. Nimra Burcha, who plays the evil auntie, as I joke around, from Miss Marvel, as her mother, crushing it as her mother. I have literally, like, it's got to the point now where if I see her anything, I'm like, I'm gonna watch this just off the strength of you being in it, because I enjoy your performances so much.
Yeah, love when that happens.
It's so good. And Hamza Haq as like her father through different time periods, charming, handsome, debonair. Like it's great. It was really, really stirring. I had to really go for to watch this thing online. I was really like putting out on Instagram, like, does anyone know how to stream this thing? Which I'm just like, it's so annoying to have to do that, but it was worth all of the trouble to go see this. I really was like affected by it. And like, you know, like there's something about understanding where our parents come from, understanding like where our lineage is and how that influences us, even when we aren't there to like experience it head on, right? Like, and that sort of stuff always speaks to me, whether it's sort of like an experience like here in America, like me being from like Los Angeles, or like my mom and them growing up in Ohio, or if it's another culture. I'm always really, really locked in to see like what the past does to us in the present.
Well said, man.
Yeah.
The queen of my dreams. Yeah, I tried to look for it. It looks like maybe Prime Video has some rights, but not in the United States. So
it's VPN right there.
Do you remember where you watched it? Do you remember?
Frameline here in California actually had a online thing, but only in California, which I was like, wait, what? Like, so VPN down to the state, which I was like, that's weird, but I'll take it.
I like a challenge though for like a movie that you're recommending, the Queen of My Dreams. You got to go find it yourself, and then you can watch it. And then I do challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to use the 4.0 scale. Some instructions. You can do 2 decimals, so you could say like you could do like 3.99, you know, or a 4.0. Where would you put this one with a little, you know, you can think about it.
I really am a sucker for things that play on intergenerational stuff. Like I was raised with my grandparents in the house, and like when hearing them talk about like being, because they're from like Georgia, they're not even from like here. Like my grandpa's from like a tiny place called Hogansville, 2,000 people, and you go back to the town, and it looks like Pleasantville.
Oh, nice.
Like legit. And I was like, oh my God, growing up in this place must have been so different than growing up in Los Angeles or Cleveland. What the heck? So I'll probably go about like 3.8. I might even be just docking it because, my God, why do I have to go through 5 different layers of like Spy Kid style hacking to find this movie online? But
yeah. I like that accessibility. Accessibility is important. Okay.
Dude, I couldn't believe, I was like, all these streaming services and nowhere, Prime Video, and just in Canada. Like I had to go and figure out a specific place that was doing an exhibition, and it's like, this ends in a month, and then, oh well.
Wow.
All right, mostly superheroes fans, go find it and tell us where it's at.
Tell us where it's at.
Tell us where it's at. All right, man, fair share. Love it. And these guys are playing a video game, Marvel Rivals. Scotty's playing it on Xbox,
I
PlayStation.
Play it on PlayStation,
and
PS5.
Scotty's PS5.
Yep.
Andy's playing it on Xbox. Do you play this, Aaron?
I have heard so much about this. I watched Brandon play it for 2 hours, and Jenna has a brand new video about it, about how it plays into like how we adapt superheroes. She really loves the takes on the characters represented in the game. Who do you guys main? I want to know that.
Iron Man for me, always.
A lot of Rocket Raccoon for me.
Maybe Mr. Fantastic. I dabble a little bit.
I haven't gotten a chance to pick that up yet.
Who was Brandon playing with?
Oh, he loves freaking Venom and Punisher. He's like, oh man, it's so good. Like, he's like, I'm just gearing up for Born Again.
Two that I just can never
mm.
kill. Always
Yeah.
makes sense. I've probably played against him. It's
Punisher's
probably been
got
him.
more of a
I have no idea.
a classic shooter feel.
Yeah, we got to
with
get
Punisher.
We got to get BD's username so we can be aware when we're playing against him.
I will hook y'all up with that. I'll ask.
I don't know how it works with video. I don't even have any consoles, so I'm like, do you give out your gamer tag? Is that too much info? Like, I don't,
No, that's fine.
And then Jenna, like you guys talked about it, like maybe on Phase Hero, but Jenna has go read some comics as her channel on YouTube. I know, and hey, it's Jenna Lynn. Like she's been on the pod before. She is the best. She talked to us about nerded out about some She-Hulk.
Oh,
Is She-Hulk in Rivals?
No.
Not yet.
Eventually,
Jenna,
though, like
that's what's gonna break it down. I already told Jamie, Scarlet Witch is in here. We should play too. We should both get in here. You know they're gonna add Sam because of the movie. Then all of us can be in here and be terrible together.
Oh yeah.
And what do you guys love most about it? Is the open like gameplay, like just out there battling people, or what is it that you like?
Yeah, it's just a fun, open environment. Shooting back and forth. You get to jump into the skin of your favorite heroes. You don't have to really explain it. So you get to be Rocket Raccoon. Like, it's awesome.
It's
just a well-made, well-rounded game.
Extremely
Huge
immersive.
roster.
Immersive. Like there's like a comic story that goes along with the game, kind of like inside of it that you like through achievements you unlock like pieces of it. I mean, that's just like a side thing, or you could just play online and just try to kill as many people as you want. There's just so many different things that you can do, and I'm like,
you've been playing hard.
There's been like 5 or 6 of my buddies that I wouldn't expect to be picking this game up that have started. So I had to go to Target and get myself a headset today so I can talk shit against them all the time now. So I'll be playing a lot.
About.
I'll be playing a lot going forward. So
and then Scotty, like we live in the Midwest, we're regular people. Scott has been redoing his basement bathroom, so he hasn't been playing Rivals as much.
No, it's been a couple weeks for me. I haven't gotten into the main storyline yet. So.
Yeah, that's what I wouldn't play the campaign for sure. Yeah. Like that sounds kind of fun.
There's not really a campaign. There's not a campaign.
What is
it? It's kind of like there's like seasons. It's kind of like Fortnite, I feel like, where there is a theme like that's undergoing that's kind of in the game a little bit. And then there's basically like achievements that you can get to unlock characters, like different skins and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a free game. Like it's free to play. The only thing that's extra is if you want to buy those character skins, which I haven't done yet, but I know I'll eventually bite the bullet.
Break down
with real money.
Real money, yes.
Or I guess you can slowly earn your way in there if you play the game enough.
Yeah, you can earn stuff for free.
No, I'm not very good at video games. That's why I don't have a console. Like,
we're gonna get you one. This is the.
Do you know how? But I don't want to relive what I like grew up with in high school, where like all my friends were good, and like I just always felt bad being being there. I'd be like, I shouldn't be here. Like I'd like play Call of Duty and just like run into the wall, get shot. They'd be like, oh, you can't do it. I'd be like, I guess I can't. Like my brain isn't really made for. I played this Pokemon trading card game app, and I got into it. I played probably 20 times as many hours as Scotty, and like I'm still only a level 19, and he's like a 40, and I'm like, I can't do any better than this. So
yeah, I instantly destroyed you like every time.
All right, well, let's just move on. Enough for the video game category. All right, and then Andy's rewatching the MCU on his Peloton, and he's on like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Guardians 3.
You are on Guardians 3?
Yes, I'm halfway through. I only have a couple movies left, and I'm starting to get a little sad about it.
It is sad when you start looking toward the end, and then like the last thing right now is Agatha, and you're like, this is where we're at.
Yeah. I've started only movies. I kind of wish I would have done everything just in release order now and just built the shows right in. But
after it's done,
you got to keep riding,
bro.
I'll
do this I mean, I'm not gonna
stop.
I can't stop. Then I'll just get fat. So.
And we're trying to get Peloton to buy into this literally with money. So
yeah, that email the other day was well said. But yeah, just 30 minutes every day. Just over a year ago, they added like entertainment app, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm not using this Peloton enough. I know how to get myself to do that. The MCU. So I've rewatched every single movie over the span of a year, just sitting on that bike, and it's been great.
And meanwhile, I'm messaging people on Facebook Marketplace, maybe for $100 bike, and I have an old iPad and tape.
That's all you need, literally.
And tape.
Yeah. It's all you need.
That's all you need. You just throw it on. There you go.
Shout out Peloton for keeping me in the MCU.
Hey, we're proud of you. It's been a year. We're really proud of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
you. I mean, it hasn't been every day.
Yeah, but you've kept it up too.
I kind of like we talked about it on the show last year. I kind of like stopped talking about it out of shame because out of like the summer, I basically just kind of stopped doing it. But I'm back.
Yeah, we noticed.
I'm back.
Like, we know that you stopped.
I know.
Like, I don't want to pretend. We were like, man, is he ever going to get back to the? I'm just kidding.
I know. I'm here. I got a couple movies left, and I'm in it for the long haul, baby.
All right, Scotty Scoop, tell us about this one. I'm not even going to pretend to know how to say it.
Yeah, this is Perine. This is a book I read. Finished it last week. It only took me a day or two. It's pretty short.
Ignore that top part where it says it's a Star Wars book. I'll edit that out in post.
Oh my God.
So
I was like, what?
It's not. It's not a Star Wars.
Not Star Wars
All
related at all. This is about a man. He's trapped in a giant house with infinite rooms and infinite hallways. And he's really just kind of cataloging every room. Every room is lined with statues. Some of these rooms are flooded by the ocean. He's the only one in this house. He doesn't know how to escape. He doesn't want to escape. His life's journey is to catalog what's in every one of these rooms. There's only one other person in this house that he has called the Other. Doesn't know their real name. Meets with him twice a week just to kind of give this guy some information on rooms and this guy's search for a great and powerful knowledge. And it was a really good story and touching, and I would recommend it to just about anybody.
Did you? You may have said this. Did you read it or listen?
I read this.
Nice.
Yeah.
You do both. You mix and match a little, right? Like,
if you're familiar at all with Doctor Who, you know, it kind of like this guy is almost trapped in a TARDIS. It just goes on forever and ever.
I thought
I
was familiar with Doctor Who until you said that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
and Susanna,
really good.
Susanna Clark.
Yeah. Really good.
Can you rate it?
I would probably give this a 3.7. Soon to be adapted into a stop motion animation film.
And say the name of the book again.
Perine.
Beautiful. All right, Aaron Perine, you're up with I believe a Spotify original podcast.
Yes. Good friend of us, nostalgia hounds over quarantine. Rob Harvilla's 60 songs that explain the 90s. Every week's a different episode. It's like an audio essay about the artist, their place in that decade, what makes them like tick, what makes them strange, why this deserves to get picked as opposed to the like all the ocean of songs they got produced in the 90s. Very funny. He wanted to call it 90 songs that explain the 90s, but he got scared they were going to cancel the podcast, so he did 60. Of course, it was a success. Then we had to get to 90. Then we had to go to 120, and then they were like, "It's got to end. It's got to end at some point, Rob." And then now he's doing 60 songs in the 90s, colon the 2000s. And it's been such a ride. Every week, I tune in to figure out what goofy song we're going to talk about, how he's going to work Thundercats into it, how he's going to talk about, you know, the politics of a you know, like a food court in a mall in suburban Ohio. I'm like, this was this made for me? I'm like, I started to like joke, like, did my mind create this over the stress of 2020 just to aid me and help me through the weeks? Because how did it happen? But he's like a real guy, as you can see from his shirt.
He'd probably say yes. That's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely, Aaron. This is all a delusion. This was a Harvard study. You concluded now.
I mean, I'm checking this out immediately. It's just like, I mean, it's like a dose of nostalgia, but like if you're raving, like it sounds like it's fun. It's a fun show.
It's so funny because you think about like if you were alive during the decade, like how like kids always used to say like there's nothing really defining about the 90s. We say in high school, like we'd be like, there's no kids are not going to, and yes they did, yes they are right now. They're doing freaking Y2K nostalgia as we speak, talking about how based it would be to be in an EB Games and play a Nintendo 64 with a lucid green controller. And I'm like, what? I was there. It was not chill, guys. It was not chill, bros. It was not a fun time all the time. Like, what are you talking about? But it's funny to watch from afar. Standout episodes include No Scrubs by TLC, Into the Road by Boyz II Men. I'll say Limp Bizkit's Rollin' is a hilarious episode if you love like new metal. And then I have like a really soft spot for Britpunk. So the episode on Wonderwall is like very sweet. It's very nice, even though those guys are hilarious. Liam and Noel Gallagher are emotional terrorists.
Awesome. This is out of the list. 60 songs
awesome.
that explain the 90s.
I'm checking this out for sure.
From The Ringer, Spotify original. So go find it in Spotify. Listen, it's on my list.
Yeah. Just by that list of songs.
You guys were still single digits in the 90s.
Yeah, but we were there.
You were there.
I lived it. I lived it. I remember some of it.
All right, and then just a teaser. I mean, Severance is premiered. Season 2 is here. This is like maybe definitely gonna be a top TV show for me ever. Like, this is giving me like the first season of this show is like next to Lost and Breaking Bad, and it's just giving me this vibe of like a world that they open it up. Season 2, I mean, they have done a lot in this premiere, so I'm excited to see what happens next. So more to come on Severance Season 2 on Apple TV Plus. And with that, let's go ahead and do our last piece and wrap it up. And we'll get Aaron out of here only like 25 minutes late.
The meat.
Sorry about that. Once we got all together and we were putting together a show, I was like, there's just too many fun things to talk about. Next up on Disney Plus, Star Wars is swinging out here, bringing out new title, Skeleton Crew, a whole first season. We've talked about the show, what you need to know. We have a lot of content around this on our landing page. You can go to mostlysuperheroes.com. Just search Skeleton Crew right there on the homepage, and we have clips and things that we've done previously. Right now, it's just about reacting to that finale. Season 1 has closed. It's a full spoilers alert. We've all seen it, except for Andy, and I'm going to give you the option now. Do you want to turn off your microphone, your headphones, or do you want to just be spoiled?
Just be spoiled. I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be good.
Spoiler alert. You're totally allowed to bring in your spoilers, talk about what you want to, and we kind of did a mid-season check-in. So I said this to you, Scotty, before. I wanted this to be quick. It seemed like a real happy ending to me. Jude Law was the big pirate. He got all his pirates. They found Atten. They got back. They cleared the barrier. The kids teamed up with their parents and defeated the pirates by doing all the things they needed to do. Skeleton Crew's over.
Man, it was a good time.
All right, now that's just a very high level thought. Now, like I said to you, Aaron, we're not the deep Star Wars fans. We have a couple of deep Star Wars people that come on the pod. Dan, you're out there listening. We want your take. We want you to call into 754 call log. Give us your reaction to the show. He's not a big advocate for kids in Star Wars, like Disney leaning so heavy into to kids. He doesn't get it, right? But he's also he's getting married. Like, who knows?
Yeah, he's a big fan of Order 66.
He liked Order 66.
Yeah.
He was a fan of that. But this was a breakout show with Jude Law and these young kids, and it really did recreate for me that special feeling of Star Wars. What's around the corner? Like, what if you just made a world that was kind of like Earth and showed them to new things in the galaxy that maybe even the long-term Star Wars fans haven't really seen corners of the galaxy, like pirates and things of that nature, and doing a little crossover action with the Mandalorian. Like, they had like some characters that you could see from little sprinkles, but overall this stood on its own feet for me. So Aaron, I know that you've talked about this TV show. You were a fan of the show, and I think you mentioned you were on a different podcast talking about this recently. Is that right?
Yeah, like I went on Reckless Rebellion with Thomas Rochester and a bunch of those guys were there, like, and Klein from the Direct and Young Jack, and we talked about Neil's big day out in episode 4, which I really enjoyed, because who doesn't want to talk about the funnest character? He's gonna be the character that he's like the Madison of this, where everybody's just like, where's the Neil series? Where's the Neil
we need the spin-off?
Yeah, I need Neil to get an action figure. I need one for The Office.
Carrie said my wife said she couldn't stop looking at that character. She didn't know even what was happening in the scene, but she knew that she was locked in to Neil.
Is this the elephant?
Yes.
Okay.
There's something about a Star Wars Disney Plus series and a cute CG character that just people cannot deal with it.
Well, and I want to direct people. I told BD this when he came on the podcast. We all talk about this stuff so much that I want people to go check out what you said, prior, and go listen to that podcast. But at the same time, I like that we have to say these things kind of over and over to where you got to kind of react to this series today. So we've been making you talk a lot. Let's go to you first, Scotty. Give Aaron a minute. What did you think of Skeleton Crew? And give us your reaction and anything you want to call out about the show.
I mean, this really gave me that childlike sense of wonder, watching this show, just experiencing Star Wars through the eyes of these kids on an adventure. It was a legitimate adventure, and their interactions with new experiences, that they just never know. They're just suburban Star Wars kids. They don't know.
They got buses, they got scooters,
they got cereal, just living their life, and they stumble upon a pirate ship and shoot off into the galaxy on this, Goonies-like adventure. And I thought this was really good. And I don't know that it's doing very well.
Yeah, on just in terms of the people watching.
People watching.
And reviews.
The reviews have all been great that I've seen. But it's getting people in post-Acolyte that a lot of people haven't enjoyed.
Yeah.
Star Wars. I enjoyed the Acolyte.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot of great positive stuff enjoying that.
Yeah, and my worry going into the show was that it's Skeleton Crew. I don't know what this is. Am I going to need to know something? Like, I think it's the opposite
Nothing.
of that.
You don't need to know anything.
I don't think you need to know a single thing. I think this is a stand its own feat. It's like for the first time, there is a Star Wars title that you don't really need to know anything, in my opinion. But I had fun, and I definitely see a season 2 of it. I felt a little bit like they had all these great things built up with the mystery of Atten and what all these old Republic cities mean, and that it kind of ended on just this note of like I did want more. I wanted to see some more. There was so much mystery in this. I feel like the kids, like also, the ship that they found, like I forget the pirate's name in the show, but it was essentially like a Blackbeard like figure, like one of the ultimate pirates. They're like, this is that ship, and like kind of creating these legends and stuff. Like that's fun.
I really enjoyed the droid and the kids interacting with the droid who ran the ship.
Yeah,
I forgot what his name was. 300.
And Jude Law, I did not like when he was yelling at those kids so hard toward the end. And I know that everyone was uncomfortable during that. And I was not comfortable during.
Man, he really brought it.
Well,
in this,
but a little bit,
series.
he's like, sit down and shut up. And I'm like, this is too me. Like,
well, I mean, I think maybe if you had more children in your life, you might feel a connection to that anger.
And I joked about like his friends asking him about like, how's it working on Skeleton Crew? And he's like, well, it's the Star Wars kids show. I'm sure he was like, at the end of this, he probably was telling him to shut up. All right, listen, Aaron, it's your time, man. You've sat with this, you've seen it, you've talked about it. Talk about it again here with us today.
Okay, so I really enjoyed the series. I think that, interestingly enough, like it is Goonies in space, and that's really good bones for a project just out in the open. One of the things that's so interesting about that conceit, though, is that the reason we all love like Goonies and like Homeward Bound, like The Land Before Time, all this like kids media from like the late 80s and early 90s, is that there was home media to prop it up. Like all of my memories of seeing Tron are from daycare where my mom was late to get me and we watched Tron on repeat, or the times where the people taking care of us were merciful and let us watch Kids WB. So without a way to discover it, you don't get these things. So that's my worry, is that it is this thing where everybody who sees it enjoys it, but there's not the discoverability probably necessary for them to greenlight a season 2 up close. Also, they never did get Jude Law's character. They never got Jod. He just saw the ship go down and started smiling. And like, if there's no body, there's no confirmed death. So he's just out there, terrorizing them, living amongst them, and nobody really knows what he looks like except for the kid's parents. So you could have a season 2. It's another corner of this universe. I would love to explore what the heck a planet that had been insulated from the rest of Star Wars since the freaking Old Republic would do when introduced to like, here's all this other stuff that happened while you guys were closed off.
Yeah.
Like, the Jedi Order has fallen 2 times. There's been 2 different weird factions of Sith. Like, all this stuff has happened while you guys are over here making weird doubloons. I really hope that they do get to explore this corner again.
I like whenever they were working with the owl alien helper, and she's like, oh yeah, like, and the kids are like, oh, we're kind of by Alderaan, and she's like, huh, Did you miss the war? Like, I feel like a lot of that was like tucked in for like all of us. Like all of us are like, oh, you kids, you don't know anything. And then like what the, like I am a little lost on like what Atten and all those planets were. They were just like protected old Republic entities that were like.
That's where they print the money.
They print the money, and it's just like printing money places.
Yeah.
Like everyone works there.
Fort Knox.
It's Fort Knox.
They don't want you
hidden.
to know where it is.
That's the whole idea. But like, I mean, it's kind of bizarre that they're like, and we'll lie to the whole planet.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, you're not gonna tell everybody that Alderaan blew up.
They don't need to know. I mean, this is
that is
it's Big Brother.
Yeah, and I get depressed by the news. I get it. You don't want to know everything. But,
yeah.
And Andy, since you haven't seen it, what do you think about us talking about it so far?
No,
How are we doing?
My question now is I haven't watched this or The Acolyte or what was the one before that was the Rogue One centric.
Andor.
Andor.
Yeah, season 2,
so
right?
good.
Just tell me what order to watch those in.
You don't have to watch them in any order.
I know.
There is a timeline order, though.
I mean the order of what I would enjoy them. That's what I mean. I know they all stand on their own. So which one should I?
You gotta watch Andor before Rogue One the movie.
Right.
So that's it.
Which ones are your favorites of those three? Is my real question. I guess.
Oh, good question.
Personally, Andor is my favorite because Rogue One is probably my favorite Star Wars movie. But that being said, if you're just looking for straight entertainment, Skeleton Crew is where it's at.
It is just kind of blanket, as a fan, like I liked Ahsoka, more than this because I'm a fan. So
yeah.
Like I like the deep cut stuff. I don't mind I kind of look for the connections, and even though I don't always understand the history and stuff, I think it's cool that they try. Skeleton Crew, it was fun. I think for like the middle level fan, like this is your show. Like this could be like. I mean, this is going to enter Star Wars for like a lot of young kids.
That's what it's for.
It will. Like this will be the first thing that like a lot of families put on and might be in after that, which is interesting too, because then you start going back.
That's a cool thought for sure.
It's Young Jedi Adventures and this for any Star Wars fan under the age of 7. They're going to be like, what about Whim? And an older person will be like, what are you talking about? Oh, kid from Skeleton Crew, of course.
Oh. I couldn't help but think about the Stranger Things cast and like look at this really talented cast, and I'm like, I mean, how could you fall in love with all of them for like different reasons? And you see, like, man, this would be fun to see this cast grow, and I'm sure they feel this inside of Disney and Star Wars, and like it's like, can we? Could we do? I think absolutely. Just write a great adventure, tell a good story. We'll be back.
Yeah.
All right.
Kids gonna be roaming around Galaxy's Edge by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. Final thoughts. Skeleton Crew. Scotty Scoop. Anything before we leave it?
It's 3.7
out of 4.0. Very nice.
Super fun.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.7 out of 4 as well. Aaron, how you feeling with it? Now that it's sat for a minute. It's sat for a minute.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 3.8 or something equivalent on our show. Like it's the first thing in Face Hero history that we all had the same score for, where all of us gave it like 8.5, like everybody across the board. And I'm like, that does not happen. This thing must have been good. I don't know if anybody's watching it or not, but it must have been all right. None of us like pooped in the punch bowl. Like never happens. One of us always screws it up. Usually me.
And you look at show like they don't nail everything. Like I think Obi-Wan Kenobi could have been a lot sharper. I think that, like Ahsoka, they leaned really heavy into the old stuff, like maybe lost some middle range fans. The Acolyte, it's deep and it's like
it was up and down, but man, there was some really good lightsaber action.
I'm almost
there.
back to like maybe a rewatch, like, and that was weekly. Like I needed like a weekend binge on that show.
I think a lot of these shows are made to binge, and just when they release them weekly, it's just not working well.
It's not, and I've said this a lot about the weekly drops, where I'm like, it's no question, like you do it to keep people talking about it. I mean, whenever you were watching Game of Thrones on Sunday night and it's Sunday night TV, like you're there for it, but you got to make the story really great. And the binge, like if you release all episodes on a Thursday or Friday, like you're probably going to get some good numbers. Like people will watch that on the weekends.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a different place now, in streaming than it was even 10 years ago.
Yeah. All right, Aaron, we've kept you long enough, man. So we'll do a wrap up with you now, and dude, just thank you so much for coming on to Mostly Superheroes. We are honored to have you. You're a name in the game as far as we're concerned, and even on on the days that you might wonder like, what are we doing? Are we out here? Like, we're listening. People are listening because you guys know your stuff, you care about it, and you commit to the quality. So Phase Hero Podcast, we're fans. Where else can people find you online, like social media, stuff like that?
Oh goodness. So it's all over social, whatever's left of it, at Summit Lake Hornet. It's actually at Phase Hero Pod, I want to say, on Instagram, at Phase Hero here on all of the podcast platforms, YouTube, etc. Go follow Jenna over it. Go read some comics. BD's other interviews that are not in our nerd sphere all live on that same channel with at BD Brandon Davis. Jamie's Loving the Time of Hydra, rewatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and like sitting there at the end of the pier hoping one day it comes home, and I really hope it comes home for one day. We're on 3 different come home watches, like Scarlet Witch, Agatha, and S.H.I.E.L.D. for Jamie. One day they're going to announce all of it the same day, and she's going to lose her mind. Thank anybody who's supported us through all the stuff with the move, with forming our new show, for just supporting us in general. As you guys know, it's rough out here as independent creators, and we really appreciate all the support. And you guys are just kicking butt. I mean, I can't say no. I really am. I'm gonna try and get out St. Louis in one of these screenings from one of these things. We need to sit here. I need to have one of these beers.
Yes.
Watch some stuff with you guys. So thank you guys.
We would love that, and that's high praise coming from you guys. And yeah, you guys you're this indie group out there now. So show the love and check it out. And like, if you want to stay informed, like Phase Hero you guys are always getting sourced on this show, and we'd be honored to cross over with you guys at any point. We've had 3 out of 4 on the show now. We've had BD.
Yeah, where's Jamie?
We need Jamie. You tell Jamie she's next. But outside of that, like Discord or jumping into a stream or something and talking about the stuff that we love and being nerdy, we'd love to do it again with you and let you guys say goodbye. Scotty,
it was a real great time, Aaron. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate
you,
dude.
Man. Thank you. Also, can you remind, when do you guys record live again? I want to get. I always mean to get in those, but it's in the middle of my work day, so I think it's Wednesdays
at 11 a.m. Pacific at our time, because Jamie got to wake up.
Yep.
Brandon's international man of mystery. He's actually recovering from his wrestling match over the weekend right now, and I'm looking at him.
That.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm a big wrestling fan here, so when he was on, that was pretty much all I talked about with BD. I was like, we barely even talked about comics. It was just just wrestling, nerding out for sure. But oh man, that's awesome.
Andy, if you're gonna restart everything from the beginning, I have a Peloton that's mostly just a coat rack. So whenever you restart, let me know.
All right, yeah, I'll hit you up.
And if you end up putting that on Marketplace, just text me the link, and I'll.
Honestly, one of my goals is, I think, to have one of our future screen and socials is I just want to bring the Peloton and ride through the entire movie. I'll be like, hey, I need some chicken fingers, please. Like a beer.
I'm telling you, like Aaron, if you run with this with Phase Hero, like this is recorded, okay? Like that's a business idea. Like it's like a movie workout cinema. Like,
all right, I'll make a promise. If Aaron comes to St. Louis, I will ride the Peloton through the whole movie.
I mean, I don't know. It might be a little distracting. You like breathe heavy or anything?
No, I'm good. I go like 47, 45 resistance. I'll be all right. But I don't know. I guess you're right. Once I've went an hour max probably. I try to break it down into chunks.
You start smelling. It starts stinking.
That's why.
So no Lord of the Rings,
trilogy watches.
film. Yeah, we could go no.
All right,
all 3 of them.
We're calling like a 2-hour max.
We've drifted into personal time. Aaron, thanks to you and your wife for the time, dude. Really, thank you guys for spending the time with us.
No problem, y'all. Keep out here rocking. Keep staying alive. Excited to talk to you guys. Hope for a good big 2025.
Yeah, Let's stay in touch.
Same.
Yep. Absolutely, gents. A pleasure.
You too.
See ya.
You too. Take care.
See you, man. Man, how was Aaron Perine? How was that?
Yeah, what a great guy.
What a dude.
That
Yeah.
was fun. That was
mean,
fun. We all had a good time. I think he had fun too. That's the best part.
That was one of the most, usually we're just hitting people up, like friends that we like at the show or things that we follow.
Yeah.
That was even more normal than that. Like, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
We were just chatting on Instagram. Like, we were just, like, literally just chatting. Like, he, like, replied to a story of mine or something. And it was on the show, and it was like, we didn't even talk about this. He's into mixology. Like drinks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And he commented on it's Heather at the Royale Food and Spirits, like here in town. Like it's a local restaurant and beautiful bar. And he was like, man, this is really cool. Like and we just started chatting. Like, where are you from? What's your background? And it wasn't
Virginia.
Virginia. I was like St. Louis, and he was like, oh, Virginia. And then of course at the end I'm like, you gotta come on, get on here. And of course, he just said an easy yes. So, Aaron, thank you so much. Face Hero. I feel like we're checking that list, getting our, my heroes on here. People that I follow on the daily for like my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like those guys are working hard.
Jock and Nerd,
easy
Face Hero.
Easy talk, easy conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Just fit right in.
Honestly, yeah. Contagious smile. Every time I looked over at the screen, he's over there just giggling, smiling.
I would see like
right.
we bring up like stuff during what you watching, and he would just start nodding his head and like put up his hands. Like he would just he'd be like, that's a title. Aaron, thanks so much. Face Hero, go check him out. And then a lot happening here on Mostly Superheroes, the podcast, January 29th.
Yeah,
your friendly
week away.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, a week away. Animated series. You guys ready?
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be weekly.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's Spider-Man.
Right.
And then Andy, you've been rewatching Daredevil. I have been too. We'll probably do like a little road to Daredevil Born Again, just a quick little recap with some graphics and stuff to help you out, because there is a lot of history to this show. The Daredevil show ran for 3 seasons. There was a Defender series with team-ups of the Iron Fist and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. And
he's been in a couple of things since then.
Echo.
That might be when we have Mr. Barnhart back on
Spider-Man.
the show.
Echo, Spider-Man, She-Hulk. Have who on?
What was the Barnhart that
Adam Barnhart.
I was blanking on his first name because I know some Barnharts and I always get him mixed up for some reason.
And apparently has the inside scoop with Charlie Cox.
I know.
I'm like, hey, I don't want to know what's gonna happen in this show, but these guys got the inside scoop. They got the
man.
That's cool.
You guys are excited. This is gonna be amazing. Are we gonna get those 18 episodes we were promised?
No,
it's
definitely not.
It's 9.
Yeah.
9.
Dude, you talk about biting off like that's like me. I get like real excited. I'm gonna do 1,000 screening socials. You think about it for one day and you're like, we'll do 8.
This was a mistake.
It's one of the first things that they brought up about the show though. When it was announced, was like it's gonna be just like the old one. This is so many episodes, and I was very excited for that. But I mean, as long as they put out quality, it'll be fine.
And I think at some point they did like back off.
Yeah, from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be more of the same of the first runaround. So that's exactly what I want.
And it's going to be March 1st?
4th.
Okay, March 4th. All right, guys, that's Mostly Superheroes indie podcast here in St. Louis. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Get those ad-free early episodes, mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thanks to our sponsors. And thanks to you two for hanging out. Giggler, thanks, and I'll see you next time, I guess. I'll probably see you soon, but the listeners will see you next time right here.
I can't wait. I love it.
Scotty Scoop, see you later.
You definitely will see me later.
Either at the comic book shop or the movies. And I'm your host, Logan. See you at mostlysuperheroes.com. Take it easy. Mostly Superheroes is proud to be funded in part by our sponsors. Mostly Superheroes is funded in part by paying patrons who receive early, ad-free, and exclusive episodes. Subscribe at mostlysuperheroes.com/support. Thank you for supporting your favorite independent podcast. Mostly Superheroes is an independent podcast owned and operated by Kerrigan Ventures in St. Louis, Missouri. Hosted by Logan Janis, Andy Hunn, and Scott Swearingen. Brand and creative by Carrie Clark Design. Music by Audionautics. Learn more at audionautics.com. Find more at mostlysuperheroes.com.